Well, hi, welcome to Rocky Mountain Views. I'm your host, Martha Thompson, and today we are sitting with my favorite baker in the world, Amy Heath of Amy's Kitchen. Yay, I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be here. Very excited.
Well, what is so amazingly cool about Amy's baking is that it's also gluten-free, which I got to admit, I used to think meant ick, or at least less than. This is amazing.
Well, thank you. Surprisingly great. Gluten-free is our tagline. So
And it's true.
I'm trying to bring that to light, you know? I started the business with a stigma. I know I did. I went in knowing I was going to fight a battle with everyone thinking that our food was not going to taste good, because the majority of things I had personally tasted that were gluten-free had not been very appetizing in the beginning, but we've come a long way.
Well, let's start off. Until about, 3-4 years ago, I didn't even know what gluten-free meant. And I think that I don't think that I'm that unusual in not having a real understanding of that. And at least now I know it doesn't mean that you have to sacrifice taste in any way, shape, or form. But, what is it exactly that causes it? If someone needs to have gluten-free food in my home, do I need to do special things? I had all these kinds of questions about that part of that first. So if you could help explain some of that. Because like I said, I was woefully ignorant. So for people in my club.
I was you about 4 years ago.
Okay.
Actually.
Wow.
And I had a marketing practice at the time that was doing well. And I had a bunch of consultants that came in from all over, and we worked together. And every Tuesday, I incorporated a lunch, because I've always loved to cook. And people have loved my cooking. So I started cooking lunch on Tuesdays, and one of our consultants was a celiac.
Okay.
Which meant, Amy, I can't have wheat, I can't have processed food, I can't have regular flour, anything that had wheat in it. So I was like, wow. And we started researching, and I'll be honest, I cross-contaminated a few times in the beginning, learning, and made him sick. And
Wow.
it's that serious.
It is. So
it's
that's
that
what makes it
serious.
scary.
It is that serious. You have to read every single label and make sure there's nothing with wheat or something that has wheat in it, or it's been processed, in a facility. So you have to be extra careful. So what I did personally, and what I suggest to everyone, is just converting your kitchen. I actually converted my kitchen over in my marketing practice for him, and we didn't sacrifice taste. We just learned how to cook the foods that we were normally cooking without anything packaged, processed, or with wheat. And we threw out our traditional flour that Mom taught me how to use, and I started doing research. And I use a ton of coconut flour, almond flour, white rice flour, brown rice. We use a fava bean flour, garbanzo bean flour.
Wow.
There's just so many. The gluten-free graham crackers actually have 7 flours in them. So you just reteach yourself.
Okay, that's a lot. So those would be the ones that I would buy.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
I'm not up for using 7 flours.
No.
But so to make your personal kitchen gluten-free, you're going to be healthier anyway, right?
I feel better. I went gluten-free in January when I opened the business, because I wanted to see how my clients felt when they were shopping, when they were eating, when they were out to eat. So I literally went gluten-free in January for a good 60 days. I didn't eat any. And it was difficult. I dropped 18 pounds in the first 2 months because I stopped eating bread and pasta. So I lost a lot of carb bloat as well. But I lost 18 pounds, and I feel better. I had digestion maybe and like gurgly stomach in the past in my life. And when I went gluten-free, the gurgles are gone. The stomach ache is gone. And when I did start, I did indulge a few times after I went gluten-free to see. And I tend to get very sharp pains in my stomach now when I go back to eating hot dog buns or traditional bread or pasta.
Because you're so accustomed now to eating really good quality, healthy food.
My body likes it better. I feel better. I sleep better. I dream better. It might sound crazy, but
No,
I
it
think
doesn't. I think it's smart.
I feel better.
Interesting. Okay. So that explains that part of it. So then how did you decide to open Amy's Kitchen? Because that's a big leap.
It was a huge leap. It was a huge leap. I have 18 years of marketing experience, mostly within food and beverage.
Okay.
I planned events for high tech for 10 years. So I was doing conferences, road shows, events, a lot of food and beverage. And I've always loved food. I've always been a foodie. And I've always incorporated food into every job I could. And one day we were sitting around the table. My kids are getting older. I wanted to work a little less in the evenings, and I wanted a better schedule. And we were sitting around the table, and one night at the marketing practice, everybody said, Amy, you should open a catering company or a restaurant, they said, because you love food and you're an amazing cook. So I thought about it that night, and I prayed, and it came to me the next day. I was like, gluten-free. You know, Amy, it took me 3 years, of really cooking and learning and researching and to get things that tasted really good. And
well, you figured it out. I can attest to that.
Thank you. You are my raving fan.
So yummy.
You are my best fan. I'm
and
telling
I'm a food snob. I'm
well, that makes me even better. I love it. I love it.
This is really good.
I do. I'm fortunate. I'm fortunate and blessed, and I'm staying small. So to be honest, I opened the business originally wanting to do catering and lots of things. And as I opened, I decided to focus in. 3 is like my magic number. So I do pretty much the crackers now, gluten-free, graham crackers. We're working on a paleo.
Okay, and the crackers are these guys?
Yes, those are gluten-free graham crackers.
Okay.
And those are little...
and these are the ones that have 7 flours?
They do. They do.
Lordy.
They have a fava bean, a white, a garbanzo, a brown, a coconut.
Wow.
I think a little tapioca. So yes, and originally I started making those because when I started the business, I had a patented crust that was oatmeal, almond, cinnamon. And I think you tasted that originally.
This is, it's almost like graham cracker / cookie. It's really delicious. This is perfect. This would be perfect with tea.
That's what I said, coffee and tea.
And not coffee, tea.
Tea.
This is a tea biscuit.
Yeah, definitely a tea biscuit. I agree with you.
You have a rockin' tea biscuit here. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so what else?
So we started making those because when I opened the business in January, I had an oatmeal, almond, cinnamon crust, and a lot of my celiac clients weren't eating oats either.
Okay.
So it was kind of one of those things where half of them were eating oats if they were gluten-free oats, but half of them were not eating oats. So I got beat up quite a bit, and I did some research, and I pulled together a bunch of recipes, tried a couple times, and I ended up coming up with these so I could sell the cookie, like you said, as a tea cookie, and then I use the remainder, I crush up for my crust now, so I have no waste on the product.
Oh, smart.
So because I wanted to make my own crust, my clients got really lucky because I'm making the cookies as well now. And we're dipping those in chocolate, and we're dipping those in white chocolate maple walnut fudge as well, which I did bring you one of those. And I think I might even do those smaller size. I don't know what do you think? Maybe
This
more
woman
bite
spoils
size.
me rotten.
Bite size.
No, that's not enough. Bigger.
No? Bigger? Okay.
This is good. Because there's a limit. I'm not a big eater, but I only eat really good food.
Yes.
So I would only eat 1 or 2 of those, but that way I feel like I've actually really had something. So no, I wouldn't go smaller. I'd keep it like this.
Perfect.
That's wonderful.
That's the exact same feedback I get on the mini bite-sized cheesecakes as well now, which I originally did for the Seeds Community Cafe opening event, and now we're selling them. Because everybody said the same thing. They said, this is great because it's almost an ounce per portion. And I sell those 3 for $2 in the market.
Okay.
And Nourish will probably be having them, maybe the Raven's Nest and a few other places. You can check my website.
Which is what?
www.missamyskitchen.com.
Perfect.
And I'm starting a new page, which is where to find us, because we're updating daily because we're taking on new places constantly. So
That's exciting.
yeah.
Okay. And this that you brought, let's talk about that.
That is a white chocolate maple walnut fudge. And it's the only fudge we do right now. I originally started with 3 fudges. We did a dark chocolate, but everybody does dark chocolate. And then I have some holiday ones. And when I did this one, the people that tried it were just blown away. They said it was the best thing they'd ever had. They came back in the store the next day, and everybody's like, where can I get some more of that fudge? So white chocolate maple walnut.
That's yummy.
And that can be special ordered with almonds and anything you'd like to. I do special orders of pretty much anything. So if somebody doesn't like something I have, they can call me 24, 48 hours, and I can turn out just about anything they need.
That's fantastic. So I could have your delicious cheesecake or fudge or whatever I chose from a party.
Yep.
An event.
Yes.
Oh, fantastic.
And I have to say, that's the secret these days. I've been doing a ton of platters, and I really want to promote that for people, because everybody goes to a barbecue, a party, a school event, a work event, and you always have to bring trays. And nowadays, you can call me and I can put together a $15, a $20, a $30, a $50 tray. You just give me a budget and I mix it up with some cookies, some fudge, some cheesecake flavors, and then you can take something into the party that is gluten-free for people nowadays, because there are so many people nowadays that are gluten intolerant.
And see, I would be afraid, even right now, to make something in my kitchen and be afraid that there'd be some kind of cross-contamination, that I would make a mistake and someone would become ill.
And they would if they were celiac. Now, the health-crazed people these days, we love those clients because we can't make them sick, and you couldn't make them sick. But I cater to those clients, and that's why I'm in a totally gluten-free kitchen, gluten-free environment. There's no flour on our side of the building. I mean,
Really?
where I am, yeah. So it's totally gluten-free where I am. We bake everything there. I don't keep flour. I don't even keep flour in my own house now, to be honest with you. I've totally converted over. So I don't even have any flour in my house when I cook. But you could make someone very ill, and it's a very, very serious issue. I mean, celiacs really have a hard time eating out.
Do you know more about that? Is there ever any recovery from it?
I don't know anything about that. I would like to learn more.
I'm not aware that there is, but as I said, I've been blissfully ignorant about this until it affected family members, and then I thought, oh Lord, this is important stuff.
I think the quality of life can be improved as long as they maintain a wheat-free environment. But I don't know the long-term prognosis. I know my friend was really happy when I converted the kitchen over, and his celiac friends would come with him to lunch on Tuesdays. They'd be like, hey, can I come eat lunch? Because they knew, whatever I cooked was going to be great, and they loved it. And catering is something. I've done a wedding here and there and stuff like that, and again, special order catering as well. But cheesecakes is my passion. I love cheesecakes.
How did that start? Is it just something that you had always made cheesecakes and loved them, and then you figured out how to do it gluten-free?
I did. That's totally true. Every party I've ever gone to, my whole so many years of life, 20-something? No. My only so many years of life. People always ask me to either bring cheesecake or food, because I've always been a great cook, but cheesecake. If it was ever they would always be like, Amy, your cheesecake's the best cheesecake, cheesecake. And what's funny is my cheesecake originally had a topping on it, like a sour cream, vanilla, sugar topping. And when we did our first focus groups, people did not like the topping as much. But
really?
But yeah, so I've always loved
good.
to cook cheesecake. And I wanted a model that worked. And I looked at the area here in the Springs, and there was great gluten-free bakers in town, but nobody was specializing in cheesecake. And cheesecake's one of those things, again, in my model, I sell to restaurants. So, the public has been awesome. I sell to the public. We have great clients, personal clients, but, my mainstream of business is into restaurants. So cheesecakes are great because I do different flavors for everybody. Spice of Life has chocolate that nobody else has. Villa Sport out east, Spa, has a raspberry nobody else has. Rad raspberry, we call it.
Wow.
Yeah. Blueberry Bomb is at Savelli's in Manitou, which nobody else has. So, and I'm getting up new on Seeds Community Cafe. I hope you have decided. I think they've been tasting, and I think Lynn really loves the cranberry orange, so I think he's going to start with that flavor.
So does a member on the board of directors.
A really pretty lady with blonde hair, I think. I think I've met her before.
Kind of pushy and opinionated, but she really likes it
She
a lot.
rocks.
So
She rocks. So yeah. And then I'm trying to get into Jose's down in Old Colorado City, and I would love to do for them a strawberry margarita. So yeah, and we have all the bottoms, 5 different types of bottoms, so everybody can pick their own, and I just think it's fun. It's creative. I'm always doing new flavors and
it is fun.
putting it around town.
So, since this is still relatively new,
Very new.
now you do have a space, a storefront that you're there at sometimes at this point. But it would still be better to visit the site?
Oh, absolutely. Call me, visit the site. My Facebook page has a lot of stuff on it. If you got up on, it's facebook.com/Miss Amy's Kitchen.
Okay.
Just like my website. And I keep a lot of stuff on Facebook. There's all my new products. But then the website too, it's more educational, the website, where Facebook is more in the day. If you got up on Facebook today, every other day or so I'll post what's in the market, my new flavors, what's going on.
Okay, so if I go on Facebook, then I'll know where to find you that day. If you're going to be at a storefront where I can get product, or that's why I'm asking, because I've got friends who are dying to try this because they know I am overwhelmed with joy. So they want to try this, but they need to know how to get it.
Okay, so if you look on the website for flavors, and on the website, I just started a page yesterday that's where to find us, which will be up in the next day or so. So by the time this airs, it'll be up. And where to find us. So if you go up to the website, where to find us, and that updates literally all the time. So there's some markets. Nourish Downtown carries some of our products. I believe the Raven's Nest may be carrying products soon. Our market at our commercial kitchen, which is right behind Mountain Mama's, in between the Wagon Wash and the Organic Hair Salon at 1625 West Uinta.
It's in the far corner.
Yes, it's the old Amanda Sponda space, if people remember.
I
It's
didn't
been
know
in
that.
town forever. It used to be Amanda Sponda when they tried that location for a while.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So that's where we are now, and we do have a market storefront there, and we just opened, so it has not been staffed appropriately yet. We're hoping as school starts next month, we will be open 8 to 6, Tuesday through Saturday is the goal.
Okay.
But I can always be reached by phone. My number's on the website, the Facebook page. You can call and order anything you want. We deliver, and you can pick it up at the market for free. We have a small delivery fee if it's, under a certain range. But so we either deliver, you can pick it up in the market, you can prepay it and pick it up whenever you'd like. You can come by the market when you're in that area. And I have a case full of stuff daily, which is a lot of the stuff I brought you. I'm doing smaller versions in our little market that we have right now, which is like the bites, the fudge, the cookies, and then you can special order the 9-inch. But I keep the bite size and the minis.
Don't get discouraged because it can be a little hit and miss right now.
It is right now because we're staffing, and I apologize, definitely.
It's just starting a new business, but that's why I'm thinking, let's take a look at if you've got Facebook, and that'll update daily, and we know we can contact you.
Right.
That's a great way to go. I love that. That's
and then
exciting.
in restaurants too, like Savelli's in Manitou. Great. They've been, I think, 18, 19 years, family-run business. You can go there, and they carry 3 flavors. Villa Sport, 3 flavors. So any restaurants.
Where's Villa Sport?
Villa Sport's out on the east side. Powers in between Woodman and Dublin. It's
in Colorado Springs.
In Colorado Springs, yes. And it is a huge new spa, very nice. I can't call it a gym. I don't even want to call it a gym because they've got like a spa. It's just a huge, beautiful facility. Their pool is one of the largest.
It sounds like a health club and spa.
It is a health club and spa.
Okay.
It's just a really nice one.
Lovely.
They have a huge pool. They do gluten-free burgers and brats. They barbecue out by their pool.
Okay.
They have a bar by the pool.
Okay.
So it's like that. It's just beautiful. It's a great place. And then Spice of Life in Manitou, which is an emporium in a store. So that's another place that's store kind of related. It's called Spice of Life Emporium in Manitou Springs. And they have great items besides mine. You can go in there and get locally made items and wine and cheese. They prepare a lot of baskets for people that come in town and stuff.
Lovely. And we are always all about supporting local business wherever you happen to live. And I know that we've been blessed with people out of country who are regular viewers. So I know you're you're in lots of different places, but it's so important to support local businesses and local economy. So I love it that you're also speaking to those other companies. There are other people that you have actually been working with of late who are supporting you as well, and you are supporting them.
Oh,
yes?
absolutely. Oh, absolutely, yes.
Who are some of these folks?
That I'm teaming up with to be with? One of my other gluten-free friend bakers, who's the Paisley Pantry.
Okay.
And that's Teresa. And she makes the best chicken pot pie gluten-free you will ever taste in your life.
Wow.
Like, you are my raving fan, I am her raving fan. Like, the best. Oh my gosh, and she makes a focaccia bread gluten-free to die for, which I think is also going to be at C's Community Cafe.
Yeah.
She's working on some bagels for y'all, but she's a phenomenal baker. And then I have another friend, Louis, and he owns Olivier Gourmet, and he does French pastries. Clafoutis is one he's doing right now, and he's doing that in a sugar-free and a regular. So Teresa and him and I have kind of teamed up together, and we're actually out looking to get into local places together, and we kind of figured there's economies of scale, because we're all gluten-free. And that way at least one of our products gets in, and we're all making calls daily like a business does. Emails, calls, new product, you know. So I sat with them last month and I was like, this is kind of silly. I was like, if I get an appointment, I'll take your stuff. If you go, great. You get an appointment, you take my stuff. We all go when we can.
That's because there's plenty for everybody.
It is. And like you said, we're local. We want to promote local. I'm buying as much local as I can. I'm converting to local eggs. Like, I'm buying as much local as I can in my products as well.
I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for doing all of that.
Well, thank you for bringing it to light and helping us, you know, let people know that gluten-free can taste good.
It's better than good. It's so much better than good. You're going to get sick of me saying it, but it's so much better than good. We have a few minutes left to talk, and if you wouldn't mind, I'd like to talk a little bit about your involvement with seeds and doing baking for seeds, because there's still some people who are unaware of what Seeds Community Cafe is bringing to Colorado Springs and why it's going to be here. So maybe if we could talk about your participation, I can talk about mine and what a gem that is going to be for us as a community.
I feel blessed and gifted to be able to work on that project. Very happy. Lynn and you and everyone else. Leslie was in yesterday buying some cheesecakes. And everyone on the project, it's a pay as you can. And you correct me if I'm wrong with any of this, but a pay as you can. It's natural, all local. Organic restaurant that's opening, and you're pulling from all of us, local and organic, and everyone is welcome in this cafe, which is why it's a community cafe, which I totally buy into. The fact that everyone can come in and have a great meal, no matter who they are, what they do, what they can afford. It's a pay as you can afford. So, you know, if someone comes in that thinks the meal is $100, I understand they can give you $100 for that meal. And if someone comes in and they can't afford to pay, we're going to help source them some work or something.
What we're going to be doing exactly is very much that. There's going to be a suggested price for a meal. If you have the means to pay it forward a bit, that's lovely and certainly appreciated. If you don't have quite enough, it's absolutely fine. If you have nothing at all, you are as welcomed as the person who is able to pay it forward and pay extra. Everyone who comes into Seeds Community Cafe is going to be treated with the highest level of respect and dignity. There will be no difference if you spent the night at the Broadmoor or if you spent the night on the street. You will be treated to absolutely fabulous cuisine like Amy's. And it's all going to be organic. It's all going to be local. If you can't pay anything, you're going to work for an hour doing something, which, you know, most people are happy to do. The people that are going to be working are going to be learning new skills and trained. Everyone who works at Seeds Community Cafe is also going to be being paid a living wage. So this is bringing to our community something just of such beauty. Most people are aware of Soul Kitchen in New Jersey, which is owned by John Bon Jovi, and so he's a rock star, so of course everyone knows about him. That is also a member of One World Everybody Eats. Lynn Harwell, who is the person behind Seeds Community Cafe, was already working with One World Everyone Eats and helped Mr. Bon Jovi open that restaurant.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. He is an extraordinary man. He has been supporting our community in so many different ways and facets to lift people up, and not a handout, but a hand up.
I love that when he says it.
It's a vision, and people are taking care of themselves and they're giving back, and it just keeps growing. It's pay it forward at its very best, and this is what's coming to us. I should have the address in my head, but I do not have it in my head. It's, I believe, in the 100 block of Pikes Peak, but I think it's 109 Pikes Peak, but in Colorado Springs. But don't trust me on that. We'll put it up on the screen for you, I promise. but I'm very excited about it because there's a coffee company that's going to be producing there. There's every kind of delicious, fabulous food is going to be being offered there, and wonderful people like you. So I'm really, really excited about it. I'm going to make sure that we get all of the information from you, so we have it up on the screen. And thank you so much for watching. Manja manja, eat some good food. Let's have some fun and maybe help some people out together. Thanks, Amy. Appreciate it so much. Thanks for being here.
Thank you very much. Anytime. It's my pleasure.
Our pleasure. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
We do up to 9 inches, big ones, and then we do these 4 inches. Will be available all the time in the store starting this week.
Really?
Yeah.
You know what I like about this? The chocolate at the bottom.
You like the chocolate bottom?
They usually do the opposite. I like it that way.
I appreciate that great feedback, and I'm going to do more chocolate bottoms. That was the last of the chocolate bottoms for today. Yes. I like the chocolate on the chocolate. We do a chocolate. On the plain?
Our like gluten-free cheesecake and our gluten-free maple fudge.
This is fantastic.
Maple fudge, I warn you, is
Or is that plain? Oh, I haven't tried one.
Yeah, you did the one with the chocolate though. I think I'm going to do a cherry on a chocolate this week, maybe. Or a strawberry on a chocolate. You like the plain?
they like the way
That's our
that our
traditional.
cheesecakes are light.
Tell me if you would, if you wouldn't mind. What do you think about these cheesecakes?
They're fantastic. I really recommend them. If you're on a diet, don't go here, but they are so out of this world.
But you know what? If you're gonna have cheesecake and break a diet for a minute, you might as well do it with something amazing, right? There you go. Thank you so much. And everyone, this is the famous Amy that you've seen my post about. Hello. Amy, telling me about what kind of hours you're going to be open here. Tell me about the kind of cheesecakes you're going to be making for everyone.
Excellent. Well, we open today. We'll be open now, starting Tuesday through Saturday from 7:30 a.m. until 6 p.m. in the store, and we'll have up to 30 different vendors. I personally have 30 flavors of cheesecakes on 4 different bottoms.
Oh my
We're doing
Lord.
Gluten-free graham cracker bottom, oatmeal almond cinnamon bottom, a chocolate bottom, and then an oatmeal cinnamon bottom. 30 different flavors to choose from. We have 9-inch for large parties and 4-inch 8-ounce portions to share for 1 or 2 or 4 people.
Outstanding. And folks, not to worry, I know you're not going to be able to taste it when I get to taste it on the show, but we are going to have it when Lynn Harwell is with us when we film with him in a few weeks. But if you want to taste it for yourself, you can come here at Freedom Foods Co-op, which is located 17th and 19th. It's in the corner of the lot. Don't skip out on this. You won't believe how delicious it is. Thanks so much, Amy.
Thank you.